Well, who would have believed it that who could believe that Edmund is going to be doing a bit of PR? Look, he's titled this deck Customer Support very, very nicely, and yeah, it's exactly what he's doing. Well done, Edmund. Who would have thought I'd be saying these words, right? But this is kind of crazy because my goodness, have we received the look at the prices? And they are so dirt cheap. It's kind of surprising. I don't see Spetsnaz Vimple, Alpha Group. I don't know what that's about. I guess he's tried to make the deck balanced, and this is the sort of, is this the best combo? I don't know. But let's have a look here. Um, Lots of crazy things. So the drone, the helicopter drone, which is a super useful asset because obviously you can go behind buildings, take cover, etc. Only 45 points, and we still don't know exactly what missiles or whatever it's going to have on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's got a cornet, because again, it's a recoilless, light, man, portable kind of thing, so yeah, that's kind of crazy. Chabor's M6, so it's actually cheaper than the Cord, even though it's got more machine guns on it. I know he's upgraded it to the 50 cal here, whereas that is just the minigun, but 2 machine guns is better than 1, and it's cheaper. Okay. Or the same price, obviously, if the minigun, but yeah, fine. Right, the Tiger, with a 30 mil cannon is 40 points. That is insanely cheap, bro. That is like the Typhoon VDV with the same 30 mil cannon is 60 points. So this being a standalone vehicle implies that it's going to be a scout car with a 30 mil cannon. That is cheap. I imagine it's going to carry 4 people in the back. It's got windows, it's got back seats, so why wouldn't it? So yeah, really kind of crazy there. Especially if its speed is going to be 100 or possibly even higher. We're not sure, of course, at this moment in time. FSB snipers, so an expensive sniper team here for 100 points. The only other team that's 100 is the Rangers with their AT 50 cal version. So maybe this is going to have some of that. We don't know. Another little Gaz Tiger right here, but clearly it's just a transport vehicle. So very similar to Humvee. In all fairness, they should be almost identical to Humvees. Maybe an extra seat or two because it's a bit bigger. But I don't mind that at all. Whatever, that's, yeah, we know what that is. Infantry, a little bit more expensive than I expected, because bear in mind, these are reserves. The bars is literally like, in Russia, they have the Cossack regions. They're like borderline paramilitary PMCs, but they're sort of regional reserves, all just clustered under one banner. Obviously, there's a lot of different, the Cossacks is obviously one of the biggest groups. 75 points, not sure. We're going to have to wait and see what its actual weaponry is. We didn't get to see a sneak preview before, so fine. The BMP-97, my favorite little sports car in the armored vehicle world. 45 points with a 50 cal on top. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I like that. Obviously, I imagine it's going to have enough seats for the 7-man squad, which is probably what this is going to be. Right, Rosgvardia is a 7-man squad. We know that for sure. So the Gaz Tiger from, by the powers of deduction, can take 7 men. That is insanely cheap for Russia to have. It's great for Russia to have these dirt cheap transports. Very, very surprising indeed. Again, where's my Alpha Group and Vimple? I wanted to see them. I mean, Vimple, yeah, I was thinking maybe it could be an iteration of the FSB snipers, with the different loadouts, but no, it isn't. Right, in terms of the vehicles then, T-62, which by the way, 115 mil cannons, so probably the same performance as the Toros for 90 points. My goodness, that is insanely cheap for a tank. Because don't forget, even if a tank is useless against other tanks, for 90 points it's a great infantry tank, because obviously it's the price of a Desantniki squad. You'd be silly not to take it. And essentially, what you've got here is just, a 50, a machine gun, a 7.62 machine gun, and an HE cannon for that insanely cheap price. Now, it is going to be probably ridiculously slow. In the base configuration, which is what this could be, this puts it on par with the Striker MGS, which is kind of interesting. I don't know about the speed. It could be, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 50 with maybe an engine upgrade option. T72, 110 points. Now the T72 B is currently 130. So that's actually quite similar. Again, just if you want to spam stuff out, this is looking really nice. What I am actually a huge fan of is this Uran 9 for 65 points. Again, ridiculously cheap. Now the ACV, the Type X ACV, RCV is 50 points with a javelin on it. This has got a bit more armament on it, so I think that's actually a very fair price. I think in the video I said I wouldn't be surprised in the previous video that I did if the price was similar or about 65 points. But I think this is going to have iglas and cornets, which is going to make it the first of its kind, which is super duper cool. Very cheap, amazing, attractive option for Russia. Pantsir, right. The Pantsir in the game currently on the Tunguska and on the big coastal snail is 250 points. On this much more mobile, faster platform, it's 270 points, which I 100% agree with. It is going to be used and abused. This is a fantastic weapon system, and rightly so, it is going to be the most expensive shore ride in the game. That's fine. On the flip side, you've got a nice cheap alternative with, again, a very mobile, very quick, with a 30mm cannon, which, again, by the way, does a lot of damage to helicopters, kills a lot of helis, from my experience. 110 points. Very nice to see that. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, the Mi-8, nothing too dramatic here. It's got a lot more weaponry, I am led to believe. I think it's going to have more ECM than the other current Mi-8s in the game. And it just looks good. The price, I think, is fairly reasonable, but when you compare it to, obviously, a K52, I don't know why there's any reason to take it, really. But what's super shocking to see is the KA-2260 as a separate helicopter, because, obviously, in the American tab, obviously, the little bird is the closest comparison. That is part of infantry transport, whereas here, it's a standalone helicopter model, so kind of crazy that they've done it this way around for this deck. I'll be curious to see what happens there. Yeah, a little bit of Russian bias, I suppose. I'm not too sure. Yak 130. Now, it doesn't have an afterburner, so it does put it in the Albatross class. Albatross is, of course, close to half the price, but it's probably going to be half as effective. So, yeah, not a bad addition at all. In all fairness, looking at this whole tab, I can straight away see that Moto, I mean, we haven't seen the other big support tabs, like the MLRS and stuff like that. I wish he'd done it better, but hey, we can't have everything, can we? AN-26, nice, cheap, good old Soviet transport. Yak 130 is probably going to be similar to Harrier in terms of ground support, just a little bit quicker and maybe a tiny bit more ECM as well. MiG-31K, nice, that's the fighter variant. BM, oh wait, opposite way around. The BM is the fighter variant, the K is the bomber variant, although you can have bombs and, well, you can mount missiles on both of them. So yeah, a fairly high price actually, but it depends. If I can't see the loadout. If this loadout is with 6 R37s, then that is huge. That is fantastic. Great bargain for money, in my opinion. Cool, this is the quick look at the deck. I will post some more pictures and as soon as I get the news, but obviously quite a lot of units still missing from this composition, including the S400 and stuff we've seen and talked about already before. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.